has the power.
Hey bro fans, this is Todd, and I want to talk to you about the results we got in from all the comments from the last video about potentially the Masterverse line ending. And I got a lot of comments from a lot of people, so let's take a look at this. The first thing that people noticed right off the bat was they were missing a lot of the mechanical type figures, the ones that have a cool play feature. And so the first two that were really mentioned big was actually Rio Blast. Now, of course, I added a hat to mine to make him look cooler. Here he is, all decked out. Blah, 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 blah. And the other one was Extendar, which I was kind of surprised we had so many Extendar fans out there. So that was quite cool. So let's go and take a look at some of the comments that people have said about these two. So these are the people that made comments and mentions about the different figures. And I like this one. It's kind of funny. I was kind of hoping we got a Rio Blast since he was in Revolution. That makes sense. It was really cool seeing him in there. And I've said it, for these heroes, just need Extendar and Rio Blast. Then characters to fill in the Horde like Hungar, Scorpia, and many others. So I am going through your guys' comments and checking them all out. And the next major section, which surprised me a little bit, was a lot of people wanted more Snake Men. So I have King Hiss here to represent the Snake Men. We're representing the Snake Men, and there actually was quite a few just for King Hiss alone. So let's go ahead and talk about the results for the Snake Men and what you guys said. So here are the comments and who mentioned what. And let's take a look at this one right here. From Thomas, it says, King Hiss, Tongue Lasher, Rattler, Matlock, Modulok, Extendar. If they don't get made, I'll buy the classic versions at some point. So that is quite the statement. And down here we got, at this point, I'll be happy with this. Give us the rest of the vintage line. 4 waves. 3 could be done. We need Dragon Blast, Skeletor, Extendar, Rio Blast, Stone Door, Rock On, Modulok, King Hiss, Rattler, Tongue Lasher, Snake Face, Squeeze, and Blast-Attak. And I saw a lot of people mention Modulok as well. So I guess this is a must for a lot of people, is Modulok. Now, he's not in a separate thing. I didn't see a lot of Horde guys coming in for some strange reason, but out of the Horde figures that were mentioned, Modulok came up the most. So I just threw him in, even though he's not a Snake guy. People usually had Snake and Modulok in their things. Now, we also saw quite a few Blast-Attacks. Now, I know not everybody believes Blast-Attak is a Snake Man, but for me, he is, because he was in the Snake Man comic, and he was first introduced to me as a Snake Man type figure. So again, people want Modulok. Now, if there are figures that you want in particular, go back to the original video. I'll put a link to it in the description, and keep posting on there what you guys want to see in Masterverse, and then I will later on tabulate all the data just like I did this time, and I will show you more data. Oh, I forgot some on the printer. I'll be right back with my printed comments. That's what it was, printed comments. So here are the printed comments I got about the movie figures. I was really surprised how many movie figures we had out there. We were going, hey, I want this guy, I want that guy. And we had a lot of mentions for different figures, as you can see here, for Masterverse movie figures. So let's take a look. Now, the one I really liked was, I would like to get more 87 movie figures. Pipe dream, but I'd like to get Lubic. Lubic would be so cool to get. So I made a special Masterverse Lubic. That would be awesome. Yes, he's even got the red and white striped tie, his trench coat, and even his sidearm right there as one of his accessories. Oh man, Mattel. Psh, we have got to get this guy. It'd be so cool. Oh, yes. I've tried to make customs of him and failed many times. But you know what? Just making this guy, that would be awesome. So let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of them. This guy wrote a pretty nice long one. And he says, I think Chronicles is its own thing. I suspect we may get multiple movies. I have my doubts that they will end Masterverse or that they won't make any more until it's actually confirmed. I personally would be upset not to finish the 1987 movie Masterverse collection. We still need Man-at-Arms, Sorceress, Gwildor, Tila, Saurod, Craig, and maybe some of the Skeletor's troopers, and maybe Pig Boy. Pig Boy! Yes, Pig Boy would be really cool to get. And we did see him in the 1987 movie, and again, it was that kid that won the contest that got to be in a movie. And then they also had him in the cartoon Kevin James? Not Kevin James. Kevin Smith actually made for Netflix. So Pig Boy would be a really fun one. They can include him into somebody else. You know, give us Pig Boy in the same box as some other figure if he's too small, or just give it to him separately. Heck, you can make a lot of money off a small piece of chunk of plastic that people will buy. Pig Boy. Now, it is funny, is you think about Pig Boy, we had a figure called Pig Head that came out. Now, that was for Sunman, but you could pretend like Pig Head is Pig Boy grown up if you wanted to, and he has a little different coloring and everything else, but he is still a pig-type creature guy. And I didn't even think of that. I didn't get Pig Head. I didn't, for Masterverse. I did get Pig Head for Origins, though, but not for Masterverse. I just thought that was interesting how many people actually still wanted the movie figures. And again, go back to the original video, post some things that you want to see, and I'll pull more data like this as we continue on. Now, the very last piece of data that I was surprised a little bit about. Let's see. Nope. Yes. And that is the 200x Sorceress. And the funniest line, the one that gets the you won the internet comments today, is from Scotty Z70. And he writes, "Arg! Your thumbnail set me on a frantic wild goose chase. I have wanted the 200x Sorceress forever. I love her more Egyptian look. There was a Staction figure, but I want something to pose." And this guy down here, please, dear God, why can't we get a 200x Sorceress? I've been waiting 20 years. That Idiot Running Classics gave us Vina instead of Tilana. And she was in 2 episodes, and she got a figure first. I haven't been so aggravated with a line. Now, I do want to preface this a little bit, is you guys know the story of Scott, and or ToyGuru as he's known online, and how he was, one of the guys who got us these cool figures for classics. Now, I love that Scott did this for it. It is awesome. Now, yes, he should have done a 200x Sorceress, somehow worked it in. Maybe, she came to visit from another dimension or something. I don't know. They could have figured out a way to make the story work. He was so worried about making the story fit that it's like you can release some without having the story fit. We've seen it now with some of the Origins figures. They have the sketchbook series, which has nothing to do with any stories at all. It's just, hey, let's release some cool figures. And bada bing, bada boom, we got them. So that is the end of my pseudo rant. But if you guys want to be part of this fun data, go back to the original video, like I mentioned a couple times already, and post there. That's where I'm going to pull the data from. On this video, I'm just curious if you only had one figure, and out of the ones he mentioned, would it be Modulok? Is he the one that was like, this is the make or break for me? Or would it be Lubic? Would he be the one that you're like, yeah, this is the one I really want? I know it's kind of out there, but we've never seen Lubic in a figure form before, and how cool would this be? Or I like me and a bunch of other people and really want the 200x Sorceress. Oh, I've wanted her for so long, and so has other people. She is so cool looking. Yes. Now, we did get her in a Staction, as I mentioned before. There she is. Dun, da, da. But a Staction is not an action figure, and you can't really, and she's too short to fit with classics. But she is still really cool. Look at that. Look at that. All right. That is the end of my rant. Thank you for joining me, and please go back, check out the original video, and post what you would like to see there. And That's all I got. And like they say in the 1987 movie, good journey. Bye now.
If you found enjoyment, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Do it!